A sea of flashing lights and roaring fans packed into the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. It was June 20th, 2025, and the air crackled with the kind of electricity only a boxing mega fight could generate. The main event, Manny Pacquiao, the 46-year-old legend, an 8-division world champion whose name was synonymous with heart and speed, against Mario El Azteca Barrios, a 30-year-old rising star with a chip on his shoulder and power. In both fists, the crowd's chants of Manny, Manny, clashed with pockets of Barrios' supporters, their voices rising in defiance. The ring gleamed under the spotlights, a stage for what promised to be a historic clash. The announcer's voice boomed, cutting through the noise. "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the fight of the year." The crowd erupted as Pacquiao bounced in his corner, his compact frame radiating intensity. His gloves flashed with each shadow punch, his eyes locked on nothing but the fight ahead. Across the ring, Barrios stood calm, his lean, muscular build exuding quiet confidence. Taller, younger, hungrier. He stared at Pacquiao with a focus that bordered on predatory. The tail of the tape flashed on the jumbotron. Pacquiao, 5'5", 67-inch reach, 6'8" to record. Barrios, 5'10", 71-inch reach, 28-2. The stats told one story, but the energy in the arena told another. This was no ordinary night. The referee called the fighters to the center, delivering final instructions. Pacquiao's face was all business, his jaw set, while Barrios nodded coolly, his eyes never leaving his opponent. The bell rang for round one, and Pacquiao exploded from his corner like a man half his age. His feet blurred as he closed the distance, firing off a signature combination. Jab, jab, straight left. The punches snapped Barrios' head back, drawing gasps from the crowd. "Pacquiao's speed is unreal," the lead commentator shouted, his voice barely audible over the roar. Barrios absorbed the flurry, his guard high, but he countered with a stiff jab that caught Pacquiao mid-motion. The younger fighter's reach advantage was clear, but Pacquiao's experience kept him elusive, bobbing and weaving through Barrios' counters. The first round set the tone. Pacquiao's relentless aggression against Barrios' calculated precision. A vicious left hook from Pacquiao landed late in the round, wobbling Barrios for a split second. The crowd surged to its feet, sensing the legend's old magic. "He's still got it." A fan screamed from the stands. Barrios clinched, his arms wrapping around Pacquiao to stall the onslaught. The referee broke them apart, and the bell rang, ending a round that felt like a statement from the veteran. In the corner, Pacquiao's trainer barked instructions, urging him to keep the pressure on. Barrios' team, meanwhile, stayed calm, their fighter nodding as they whispered strategy. Round two saw Barrios adjust. He used his jab to keep Pacquiao at bay, snapping it out like a whip to disrupt the smaller man's rhythm. Pacquiao still darted in, landing a sharp 1-2, but Barrios' counters were landing cleaner now. A straight right caught Pacquiao on the chin, silencing the crowd for a moment. Barrios is finding his range, the commentator noted, excitement creeping into his voice. Pacquiao shook it off, firing back with a flurry that backed Barrios to the ropes. The exchange was furious, both men trading leather in a display of heart and skill. The round ended with the fighters toe-to-toe, neither willing to give an inch. By round three, the fight's rhythm was clear. Pacquiao's speed and volume were his weapons, his punches coming in bursts that thrilled the crowd. Barrios, though, was a puzzle Pacquiao couldn't quite solve. The younger fighter's footwork kept him just out of range, and his counters were growing sharper. A looping right hand from Barrios clipped Pacquiao's temple, drawing a collective wince from the audience. "That hurt him," the second commentator yelled. Pacquiao's legs stiffened, but he fired back, his pride refusing to let him show weakness. The crowd fed off the drama, their cheers a constant roar. As the rounds progressed, the physical toll began to show. Pacquiao's face reddened from Barrios' jabs, while Barrios' left eye swelled from a series of Pacquiao hooks. Round four was a chess match, with Pacquiao trying to cut off the ring and Barrios circling, picking his shots. The younger fighter landed a brutal body shot that made Pacquiao wince. But the legend answered with a three-punch combo that snapped Barrios' head back. "This is why we love Pacquiao," the commentator bellowed. "He's 46, and he's fighting like he's 26. The crowd chanted louder, their energy fueling both fighters. Round 5 saw Barrios take control. He began timing Pacquiao's rushes, stepping back and landing crisp counters. A right uppercut caught Pacquiao flush, and for the first time, the legend looked vulnerable. The crowd fell silent, then roared as Pacquiao fired back, his fists a blur. Barrios absorbed the onslaught, his face a mask of determination. "This kid's tough as nails," the commentator said. "He's not intimidated by the legend." The round ended with both men landing heavy shots, the referee hovering close as the intensity ramped up. By round 6, the fight was at a turning point. The commentator marveled. Pacquiao's eyes burned with defiance, his fists answering every blow. The round ended with both fighters bloodied, but unbowed, the crowd giving a standing ovation. Round 8 began with Barrios smelling blood. He stalked Pacquiao, cutting off the ring with precision. Pacquiao tried to dance away, but his legs were heavy, his movements sluggish. Barrios landed a left hook that rocked Pacquiao, followed by a right cross that sent him stumbling. The crowd gasped as Barrios unleashed a torrent of punches, trapping Pacquiao against the ropes. "He's unloading," the commentator shouted. "Barrios is taking over." Pacquiao's guard faltered, and a devastating right cross landed flush on his jaw. The legend's knees buckled, and he crumpled to the canvas. The referee waving off the fight at 2:13 of round 8. The arena fell into a stunned silence, broken by a mix of cheers and gasps. Barrios raised his arms, his chest heaving, as his team rushed into the ring. Pacquiao, ever the warrior, rose slowly, his face a mask of exhaustion and respect. The announcer's voice echoed, "Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by knockout, Mario El Azteca Barrios." The crowd erupted, some in awe of Barrios' performance, others in mourning for their fallen hero. Barrios paced the ring, soaking in the moment, while Pacquiao's team helped him to his corner, the weight of the moment sinking in. In the post-fight interview, Barrios stood under the lights, sweat dripping from his brow. "Manny's a legend, a warrior," he said, his voice steady but emotional. "I grew up watching him, idolizing him. To share the ring with him is an honor, but tonight, I had to prove I belong here. This is my time." The crowd cheered, acknowledging the rise of a new star. Pacquiao, ever gracious, took the microphone next. "Mario was the better man tonight," he said, his voice soft but clear. "I gave everything, but God had other plans. I'm proud of him, he's the future." The two fighters embraced, a moment of respect that silenced the arena. The broadcast cut to highlights, slow-motion replays capturing the brutality and beauty of the fight. Barrios' knockout punch played again and again, a right cross that seemed to carry the weight of a new era. Pacquiao's valiant effort, his heart and grit, were celebrated in clips of his flurries and defiance. "What a night," the lead commentator said, his voice thick with emotion. "Mario Barrios has announced himself as a force in boxing. But let's not forget Manny Pacquiao, a true icon who gave us everything." The second commentator nodded. "Barrios was a beast tonight. He shocked the world." The screen faded to black. The text, June 20th, 2025. The night Barrios shocked the world, lingering as the broadcast ended. In the arena, fans filed out, some buzzing with excitement, others quiet in reflection. Barrios' team hoisted him onto their shoulders, his smile wide but humble. Pacquiao, surrounded by his family, waved to the crowd one last time, his legacy untarnished despite the loss. The fight had been more than a sporting event, it was a passing of the torch, a moment where the past and future collided in a blaze of fists and heart. Backstage, Barrios spoke to reporters, his words measured but confident. "This is just the beginning," he said. "I respect Manny, but I'm here to make my own mark." Pacquiao, in a quieter corner, reflected on his career. "I've been blessed," he said, a smile breaking through. "If this is my last fight, I'm at peace." The boxing world buzzed with debate. Was this the end for Pacquiao? Was Barrios the new face of the sport? Social media exploded with reactions. Fans and analysts dissecting every moment of the fight. Posts on X called Barrios a halimaw, a monster, while others hailed Pacquiao's courage.